There's a thief in your bank account. He's been robbing you for years, and you're about to catch him with nothing but a pen and a notebook. Here's the case file. Every month, money goes missing. Not stolen in one dramatic heist, drained, a few dollars at a time, so quietly that no alarm ever goes off. The victim never files a report because the victim doesn't know a crime happened. He just knows that somehow, at the end of every month, the money is gone and he can't say where. This isn't a story about a bad economy or a low salary. It's a story about a suspect who's never been caught because he doesn't leave fingerprints. His name is frictionless spending, and companies have spent billions of dollars training him to work invisibly. You tap a card, you click Buy Now, you use your phone to pay. You never see the money leave your hand, so your brain never registers the loss. Psychologists call it the pain of paying. Real cash spending hurts a little, and that hurt makes you think twice. Tap to Pay numbs the pain completely. By the time you see the statement, the case has gone cold. In 1904, one woman decided to become a detective in her own household. Hani Motoko, Japan's first female journalist, invented a system to catch exactly this kind of invisible theft. She called it Kakeibo, a household financial ledger. Not an app, not a spreadsheet, a physical notebook and a pen. It's the reason Japanese households have quietly built a reputation as some of the best money managers in the world, some saving up to 35% of a modest income. Today, we're using her method to run our own investigation. We're going to find the thief in your account, and he's not who you think he is. If you've never heard of this method before, that's exactly why it works. Hit like so more people find this case file, and subscribe if you want to see it solved. The reason frictionless spending gets away with it is that nothing gets written down. Kakeibo forces you to log every single expense by hand. When you have to physically write latte, $6.50 on paper, your brain processes it differently. You pause. You ask if it's worth the ink. The invisible becomes visible. You're not spending numbers on a screen anymore. You're spending hours of your life, and now there's a paper trail proving it. At the start of every month, before you spend a single dollar, you answer 4 questions. How much income do you have? How much do you want to save? How much must you spend on fixed costs? And what's your plan to do better this month? Most people investigate backwards. They spend first and treat whatever's left as savings, which is usually nothing. Kakeibo flips it. Income minus savings equals what you're allowed to spend. If you make $3,000 and want to save $500, that $500 disappears from the case file immediately. You're left working with $2,500, and the scarcity makes you sharper. You stop checking your bank balance to see what you can afford. The balance is a lie, mixed in with rent money and bill money. You check your budget instead. The budget is the only true record. Quick note before we open the next file. If this is already changing how you see your own spending, drop a comment with your city so I know where this case is landing. Now, let's sort the evidence. Every expense goes into one of 4 buckets. Survival, rent, food, utilities, medicine. Non-negotiable, but optimizable. Optional, dining out, shopping, subscriptions. This is where the thief operates most freely and where the investigation matters most. Culture, books, courses, museums. Money spent growing your mind, which Kakeibo treats as an investment, not a leak as long as it's tracked. And extra, repairs, gifts, the unexpected, the things you didn't plan for. Every evening, for 3 minutes, you log the day's receipts into their buckets while the memory's still warm. If you spent $50 on drinks last night, you write it down this morning and feel the sting immediately, not 30 days later when it's too late to change anything. Most people only check their finances at the end of the month. That's not an investigation, that's an autopsy. Kakeibo runs a checkup every single day while the patient is still alive to save. For the optional category, food, fun, shopping, Kakeibo practitioners use cash. At the start of the month, they withdraw exactly what's budgeted for fun and put it in an envelope. When the envelope's empty, the spending stops. No overdraft. No quietly reaching for a credit card. If you blow the whole envelope in week 1, you spend the next 3 weeks at home feeling the consequence directly, and next month, you pace yourself. An empty envelope physically cannot buy a beer. You can run the same trap digitally with a separate prepaid card loaded with a fixed amount, but physical cash still works best for retraining the brain. Watching a stack of bills get thinner creates a feeling no app notification can replicate. We live in a world built for instant gratification. See it, want it, click it, it arrives tomorrow. This is exactly how the thief operates best. Kakeibo introduces a cooling-off period. When you want something that isn't a survival need, you don't buy it. You write it in a wish list and wait 30 days. Then you ask yourself honestly, do I still want this, or was I just bored, stressed, or hungry? 90% of the time, the urge is gone, and you've just closed a case with 0 losses. If you still want it after 30 days with the same intensity, that's no longer an impulse buy. That's a verdict reached with evidence. There's a Japanese concept called monozukuri, deep respect for materials and craftsmanship, tied to mottainai, the regret over waste. Before buying new shoes, you polish the ones you have. Before a new phone, you clean out the old one. The consumer economy survives on your dissatisfaction with what you already own. Every repair, every bit of maintenance is a small act of resistance against a system built to make you feel like you need more. At the end of the month, you don't just close the notebook, you conduct hansei, honest reflection. You compare what actually happened to what you planned. Where did the case break down? Why did $200 disappear into Uber Eats? Were you stressed? Lazy? This isn't about guilt, it's about data. You're a detective studying your own patterns, and once you spot the trigger, say stress spending after work, you can plan the countermove in advance. A walk, a bath, anything free instead of another $50 order. This monthly review creates a feedback loop, kaizen, continuous improvement. Case by case, month by month, you get sharper, until eventually you're saving 30, 40, even 50% of your income without ever feeling deprived. You didn't earn more, you just stopped the bleeding. Here's what separates a rich person from someone who just has a high income. Wealth was never about how much comes in. It's about the gap between what you make and what you let leave. One man makes $200,000 and spends every cent of it. Net wealth, 0. He's one lost paycheck from destitution. Another man makes $50,000, spends $30,000, and saves $20,000 a year. He's the wealthier man because he owns something the high earner doesn't: time. Every dollar you save isn't money you're not spending. It's a tiny employee hired the moment you save it, going to work compounding and growing so that one day you don't have to. Your spending is a ledger of your actual values, whether you admit it or not. If you say family matters, but the notebook shows $500 on golf and 0 on family, the case file doesn't lie. You do. Align the evidence with what you actually claim to believe. The path to wealth was never a lottery ticket. It starts with a notebook and a pen. For the next 7 days, don't just glance at an app. Physically write down every cent you spend. Coffee, $4.50. Gas, $40. Use a notebook, a napkin, the back of your hand, it doesn't matter. At the end of the week, circle every want in red and add up the total. You will be genuinely shocked at what you find. Awareness is the first step of any investigation. So tell me, what's your guilty pleasure expense? The one small leak that's been draining your account every single month? Daily coffee runs, in-app purchases, Uber instead of walking? Confess it in the comments. And then write the only verdict that matters. I master my money. It does not master me. If this case just opened your eyes, subscribe. There's a lot more to investigate.